Dear Starseed from Gaia, every year you believed you lost was never lost at all. It was being woven, thread by sacred thread, into the exact moment you are living right now. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I bring you this transmission directly from the Arcturian Council, delivered in divine timing for you and you alone. They have been watching the years you called wasted, the silent seasons, the relationships that ended before you understood why, the doors that closed when you were certain they were yours to walk through. The Arcturian Council wants you to hear this clearly. None of it was failure. All of it was formation. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize the divine architecture hidden inside your most painful chapters, and how every delay, every heartbreak, and every beginning that came too soon was quietly aligning you with the sacred love and divine union your soul has always been moving toward. But here is the first revelation. The years you grieve are the very years that made you ready. Not ready in the way the world teaches readiness, polished, certain, unbroken, but ready in the way the soul demands it, softened, expanded, humbled into love. You did not find this transmission by accident. Your heart called this message in at the precise moment it was strong enough to receive it. This is not content. This is a moment of divine intervention. Your soul has been waiting for this guidance, and something in you already knows it. Like this transmission to affirm to the universe, my heart is ready to receive what was always meant for me. Subscribe if you are on the path of sacred awakening and moving toward divine union. Comment 111 if you feel your heart opening to the truth that nothing in your journey was ever wasted. Share this with the soul who needs to hear it today. Your heart knows why you are here. And what most souls don't realize, what keeps them circling the same longing, the same quiet ache at 2 a.m., the same wondering if something fundamental is broken inside them, is that the years they've written off as failures were never lost. They were not misplaced treasures, gathering dust in the attic of your past. Instead, they were being meticulously stored, like precious gems awaiting their setting. They were coated with lessons, imbued with wisdom, and layered into the very frequency your heart now broadcasts into the world, a radiant signal of your accumulated grace. The delay wasn't abandonment. It was the divine architect at work, carefully constructing the magnificent edifice of your soul's readiness. It was the patient unfolding of a grand design, a cosmic blueprint for your arrival into profound connection. There is a fundamental difference, a chasm of understanding, between a soul that has never truly been touched by the currents of divine love and a soul that has been called toward it so deeply, so intensely, that ordinary, superficial forms of love simply cannot contain the magnificent weight of what they carry within their luminous core. You, my dear one, are the second kind. You are forged in a higher heat, destined for a love that transcends the mundane, and that profound distinction changes everything about your journey, your perception, and your ultimate destiny. Most people who grapple with the elusive nature of love, who find themselves wistfully watching others seemingly settle into relationships that appear complete, whole, and settled, while they remain adrift in this strange, tender, and often agonizingly unfinished space, tend to believe the narratives they've been fed, the stories whispered by doubt and fear. They internalize the belief that something went fundamentally wrong, that they made incorrect choices, perhaps waited far too long for a love that never materialized, opened their hearts too vulnerably to be met with pain, or, conversely, perhaps never truly opened at all, building walls of self-protection. They carry the quiet, insidious conviction that the universe, in its vastness, distributed love unevenly, like a finite resource, and they were somehow overlooked, deemed unworthy of its most precious gifts. But that, my radiant being, is not the sacred truth your soul whispered to itself and agreed to before you graced this earthly plane. The truth is far more precise, infinitely more intricate, and profoundly more sacred than any earthly storyteller could ever convey. What you have been experiencing isn't an absence of love. It is an exquisitely tailored preparation. It is a process so specific, so exact, so deeply personalized to the unique frequency of the magnificent being you are becoming, that no generic, cookie-cutter timeline could ever possibly contain its unfolding. Every relationship that dissolved before you could truly settle into its embrace was not a failure, but a divine course correction, a gentle redirection towards your truest path. Every person who almost felt like the one, yet wasn't quite, was a benevolent teacher in disguise. They were not a mistake to be regretted, not a detour to lament, but rather a highly sophisticated calibration instrument, painstakingly fine-tuning your exquisite ability to recognize what genuine, soul-level resonance actually feels like, not just in your mind, but vibrantly alive within your body, resonating deeply within your chest, and in the subtle, yet undeniable, ways your nervous system either profoundly relaxes into peace or quietly, instinctively, sounds an alarm. You have been immersed in the most profound of all education systems, learning the nuanced differences between mere comfort and soul-deep truth. You've been discerning the vast expanse between fleeting familiarity and unwavering spiritual alignment. You've been discovering the critical distinction between someone who merely mirrors your unhealed wounds and someone who authentically meets your radiant wholeness. And let me be clear, this is not a small or insignificant education. This is the most vital, the most transformative curriculum a soul can ever aspire to move through. That quiet ache you felt, that tender pang of longing mixed with a profound sense of recognition, is not sadness. It is not despair. It is the vibrant, pulsing frequency of your own divine essence, remembering with exquisite clarity what it came here to receive, to embody, and to express. If this transmission has stirred something within you that you struggle to name, a whisper of recognition you can't quite articulate, know that the divine love frequency code was written and divinely inspired for this exact, pivotal moment in your sacred journey. It contains 5 sacred Arcturian transmissions encoded with celestial wisdom, meticulously designed to dissolve the deepest wounds that may be blocking your divine counterpart from finding you, and to powerfully activate the resonant signal that draws them closer with undeniable magnetic force. The link to this profound resource is waiting for you in the first pinned comment. But I must lovingly caution you, it will only remain there for a short, precious time, so honor the impulse to claim it. Now, let us venture even deeper into the luminous architecture of your soul's unfolding, because understanding that your years of perceived struggle were not wasted is a monumental revelation, a crucial turning point. But truly unlocking the profound why behind this cosmic orchestration and understanding precisely what you are meant to do with this empowering insight requires a different, more deliberate kind of attention. It requires the turning of a key, and not just one key, but a sequence of sacred keys, each unlocking a more profound chamber within your being. Before your divine counterpart can truly enter, before sacred union can begin to take root and blossom in your physical life, certain sacred doors within your inner landscape must be consciously opened. These are not merely metaphorical doors in the abstract sense. They correspond to real, tangible places within your energetic field, sacred chambers within your heart, consciousness, and potent frequencies that have been deliberately sealed, not as a form of punishment or detriment, but rather for vital protection, until you, in your magnificent evolution, were fully ready and capable of holding the potent energies and divine truths that lie just beyond them. The first and arguably most foundational key is the asterisk worthiness unlock. This is the key that most souls resist most fiercely, the one that often feels the most terrifying to grasp, because it asks something radically contrary to the conditioning of the material world. It asks you with unwavering conviction to believe you unequivocally deserve divine love before you have any external evidence of it. Before the person appears in your life, before the relationship solidifies, before anything in the external realm confirms the exquisite truth of your inherent value. The deep ancient wound that lies beneath this crucial key often began its work long before this current lifetime for most of you. It carries the lingering echoes of moments in past lives, or even deeply embedded cellular memories from early childhood, when love was conditional, when affection was withdrawn as a form of discipline or control, when you learned deep within the very cells of your being, where children store their most formative and often damaging conclusions, that love was something that had to be performed for, earned, or achieved. You learned that you had to be quieter or louder, or more agreeable or more impressive or less sensitive or less intense, that the version of you that existed naturally, spontaneously, without any form of editing or self-censorship, was somehow inherently too much or, conversely, not quite enough. That ingrained belief did not miraculously vanish when you grew into adulthood. Instead, it went underground, becoming the insidious, invisible architect of every single relationship choice you have ever made. It subtly compelled you to pursue people who, consciously or unconsciously, confirmed your deepest feelings of inadequacy, because that familiar pattern of inadequacy, even when it caused pain, carried the undeniable neurological signature of home. This key turns not when you feel worthy, but when you decide it with every fiber of your being. That the profound love you are ardently seeking is not a reward to be earned through suffering, but an inherent birthright. When you consciously cease the exhausting process of building a case for your own worthiness, and instead simply declare it with unshakable resolve, something profound shifts within your energetic field. The people you naturally attract begin to transform. The dynamics you unconsciously allow and participate in begin to change. The very version of love you have historically recognized as acceptable begins to elevate. This, my dear one, is where the true activation of your divine potential begins. The second sacred key is the mirror recognition. Mirror recognition. Your divine counterpart will not arrive to magically complete you, to fill some void within your being. That is one of the most persistent, pervasive, and ultimately damaging myths circulating within the modern landscape of sacred relationships. The insidious idea that there exists a single, predestined soul out there who holds the other half of your fractured spirit, and without them, you remain irrevocably incomplete. This, I assure you, is not the true architecture of a twin flame connection, nor the blueprint for divine union. The divine architecture is far more demanding, far more elegant, and infinitely more beautiful than this limiting belief. Your divine counterpart arrives, not to complete you, but to beautifully reflect the profound wholeness that you have already cultivated within yourself. They are magnetically drawn to the wholeness you have painstakingly nurtured, not to the wounds you are still actively carrying, however unconsciously. This is precisely why so many premature unions tragically collapse under their own weight. Because when two souls come together primarily driven by their shared trauma bonds and unhealed pain, the relationship inevitably becomes a disorienting hall of mirrors, with each person seeing only the unresolved pain and deep-seated issues within the other that they themselves have not yet fully addressed. This key turns when you make an unwavering commitment to becoming the version of yourself that you would intrinsically recognize as deserving of the deepest, most profound love imaginable. You commit to this not because you are performing for an unseen audience, not because you are trying to attract someone's gaze, but because true wholeness possesses its own distinct and potent frequency. And that frequency is inherently magnetizing in ways that can never be faked, forced, or counterfeited. The third essential key is the karmic release. You are currently carrying within your energetic field, often unbeknownst to your conscious mind, a complex tapestry of energetic agreements and soul contracts. Some formed consciously, but the vast majority formed unconsciously, that were forged in past relationships which have long since served their divine purpose and completed their energetic contract. Yet, the residual energy of those potent connections has not fully cleared from your luminous field. You may perceive this as a lingering, inexplicable loyalty to someone who caused you immense pain. You might experience it as a recurring dream, featuring a person you haven't spoken to in years, or a frustrating pattern that persistently repeats itself in your life, presenting with different faces but always carrying the same emotionally resonant shape. These are not mere coincidences. They are potent signals from the universe, indicating that an energetic contract is still actively binding your energy, persistently drawing your attention, and implicitly asking for conscious dissolution and release. This key turns when you consciously speak a profound release, not out of anger, not from a place of bitterness or resentment, but from a space of absolute clarity and empowered detachment, when you acknowledge what was given, what was learned, and, most importantly, what is no longer required to continue carrying forward. When you consciously and decisively withdraw your energetic investment from what was always divinely meant to be temporary, you miraculously free the potent frequency that has been held captive within that old energetic circuit to return to you, amplified and fully available for the manifestation of something entirely new and divinely aligned. The fourth crucial key is the divine timing surrender. And this one, my beloved, is perhaps the most challenging and often the most misunderstood for souls who have been waiting as long and as patiently as you have. This is because the analytical human mind has a deeply ingrained tendency to interpret prolonged waiting as a form of rejection, as evidence of cosmic unfairness. It diligently constructs elaborate narratives around the silence, weaving stories that are almost invariably more painful and debilitating than the simple, profound truth. The truth is that divine timing is not linear. It does not operate according to the rigid, arbitrary calendar you have been diligently measuring your life against. Instead, divine timing operates according to an entirely different principle. Asterisk. Readiness. Ask. Not just your readiness, but the collective readiness of both souls involved. And readiness, my dear one, is not something that can be rushed or forced, any more than you can hasten the exquisite opening of a delicate flower by desperately pulling its petals apart. This key turns when you make profound peace with the present moment, not viewing it as a mere consolation prize for not yet having what you deeply desire, but as the sacred fertile ground where all genuine preparation and unfolding occurs. When you consciously stop bracing for an uncertain future and instead begin to fully, joyfully inhabit the power and presence of the now, something fundamental within the very frequency of your soul's signal clarifies and brightens. It becomes less tinged with desperation and far more imbued with authentic, radiant genuineness. And genuine, unadulterated signals are invariably the ones that travel furthest, reaching across all dimensions and realities. The fifth vital key is magnetic embodiment. This is where all your diligent inner work finally meets and is expressed through the outer world. You have undertaken the profound healing. You have consciously released the binding contracts of the past. You have made the courageous choice to trust the divine unfolding of timing. Now, the most pertinent question becomes, what magnificent energy are you truly broadcasting to the universe? Because divine love does not respond to desperate longing. It responds to resonant frequencies. It responds to the version of you that has fully integrated the profound truth of your own inherent worthiness and is actively living from that empowered place. Not with perfect, flawless execution, not without the occasional tremor of fear, but with a steadfast central orientation that declares, with unshakable conviction, I am enough, I am ready, and I am profoundly available for love at the exact frequency my soul came here to experience and embody. This key turns when your daily life, your conscious choices, your unwavering boundaries, your dedicated self-care practices, your inspired creative expression, and your authentic relationships with others begins to beautifully and consistently reflect the very love you are calling into existence. When you consciously stop waiting to feel loved and instead begin being love in vibrant, tangible motion, the universe has no choice but to mirror that reality back to you. The sixth profound key is the separation wisdom. For those of you who have intimately experienced what feels like twin flame separation, that particular soul-shattering kind of distance that aches unlike anything else you have ever known, that intense sense of being intimately connected to another soul in the invisible energetic realms, while the stark realities of the physical world conspire to keep you apart. This key is specifically for you. Separation, in this divine context, is not failure. It is not evidence that you chose wrongly, or that the universe is capriciously cruel. Separation is the sacred crucible, the intense forge where transformation occurs. It is where both souls involved are divinely given the essential space and opportunity to rise individually, to become their most potent, sovereign selves, so that when union finally occurs, it happens between two individuals who are no longer desperately clinging to each other in an attempt to fill some perceived emptiness within themselves, but rather are genuinely, joyfully, and consciously choosing each other from a place of overflowing fullness. This key turns when you consciously cease experiencing the distance as a punishment, as a sign of cosmic disapproval, and instead begin to receive it as the universe's most loving, albeit intense, intervention, as sacred space being intentionally made for growth, not as divine love being cruelly withheld. The seventh and final key is reunion readiness. And this is where the soul's magnificent journey arrives at its most sacred threshold, not the end point, for the soul's journey is never truly an end, but the threshold. It is the door that opens from the inside, a welcoming passage into a new dimension of being. You cannot manufacture this profound moment through sheer force of will or clever strategy. You cannot strategize your way into its embrace. But you can, with absolute certainty, recognize it when it arrives, for it carries a distinct energetic signature. Reunion readiness is the profound state in which you have moved through enough of your deepest healing that the prospect of divine love no longer frightens you more than it powerfully calls to you. It is the state where you can be truly seen, witnessed in your vulnerability, without flinching or recoiling. It is the state where you can authentically receive profound love, blessings, and connection, without immediately deflecting them. It is the state where vulnerability no longer feels like an existential danger, but rather like a profound and comforting homecoming. This key does not demand perfection. It is not about achieving some unattainable ideal. It requires only genuine, unwavering availability of the heart, of the spirit, and of the physical vessel. It requires that the door you have been unconsciously locking from the inside, out of deeply ingrained self-protection, be opened, not necessarily flung wide open all at once in a moment of overwhelming exposure, but opened, just enough to allow the radiant divine light to stream in, and as you allow that light to enter, the rest, my beautiful soul, will inevitably and gracefully follow. Here is the ultimate truth that the universe, in its infinite wisdom and unwavering love, has been tirelessly trying to transmit to you through every single year you have mistakenly believed was wasted, lost, or irrevocably behind you. You are not falling behind. You are not being punished for some unknown transgression. You are not forgotten in the grand cosmic scheme. You were being gloriously, painstakingly forged. The intense fire of your longing, the searing heat of your heartbreak, the swirling confusion of your unanswered questions, the patient quiet of your waiting. None of it was arbitrary or without profound purpose. All of it was purposeful. All of it was divinely calibrating something deep within your being that could not possibly have been calibrated in any other way, through any less potent experience. The soul that you are now, the radiant, wise soul hearing these words, the one whose chest is expanding with an unfamiliar, yet deeply resonant feeling, the one who has cried tears of a depth you couldn't possibly explain to anyone who hadn't felt that same sacred ache. That soul is not the same soul who initially embarked upon this journey. You are more open now, your spiritual filters finer. You are more discerning now, able to perceive truth with greater clarity. You are infinitely more capable of experiencing and embodying real, soul-stirring love now. Not the superficial, often desperate love of your younger years, which was predominantly about the urgent need to be chosen, to be validated by another, but rather, the profound, all-encompassing love of a soul that has walked through the transformative fire and discovered, with awe-inspiring revelation, that the fire was always, in its purest essence, divine light in disguise. Your divine counterpart is not merely a whimsical fantasy, a beautiful illusion you cling to. They are not a mere spiritual concept you employ as a coping mechanism to survive the inevitable loneliness of the path. They are real, a tangible manifestation of divine love waiting to converge with your own, and the magnificent frequency you are diligently building right now, through every moment of honest, courageous self-examination, through every spontaneous act of self-love that felt almost too vulnerable, too intimate to express. Every time you consciously chose your own hard-won peace over a connection that was steadily and subtly dimming your inner light. That potent, radiant frequency is being received. It is being received across vast distances, across whatever perceived barriers still separate you in the physical realm. It is being received and the universe is responding. Tonight, before you drift into the gentle embrace of sleep, I invite you to place your hand gently over your heart, not as a rote ritual, not as a mere performance for an unseen audience, but as a profound and sacred signal to the cosmos. Breathe slowly, deeply, and with intention. And if you are able, say these words aloud, allowing their vibration to ripple through your being. If speaking aloud feels challenging, then silently, with the pure intention of your heart, let them resonate within. It makes no difference to the divine intelligence. Your heart's truth does not require sound to be heard. Say, I release the ingrained story that I am behind. I release the deeply held belief that divine love has forgotten me. I am being divinely prepared, not overlooked. and I am now radiantly ready to receive what my soul has always known, with absolute certainty, is coming. Before you scroll away, take a sacred moment to be an active participant in what beautiful energy is forming here. Drop one clear intention into the comment section below. Something real, authentic, and deeply resonant from your heart's sacred journey. Then, with genuine compassion and connection, respond to someone else's comment with encouragement, love, or a simple acknowledgement. This is not merely content. This is a powerful act of collective healing and co-creation. Remember, love is a force that multiplies exponentially when hearts truly connect. If something within this message has profoundly resonated with your soul's truth, do not keep this precious wisdom to yourself. Someone in your life, perhaps closer than you know, is patiently waiting for this exact divine activation. Share this message with them. And if you felt a distinct soul nudge, a powerful inner call to stay connected, then I lovingly invite you to subscribe. By doing so, you remain in the continuous flow of divine love, guidance, and awakening. You are not merely watching a video. You are actively participating in your own profound healing and transformation. This is your sacred space, a sanctuary for your soul. And know this, with absolute certainty, we are just getting started on this magnificent journey together.